Hello Libra, welcome to your July reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with an oracle card. What is it that Libra needs to know for July 2024? I feel like this one here. Oh, dreams coming true. That's a really beautiful way to start off the reading. But I think they're coming true because you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? You're moving in the directions that feel right for you. You're making choices that align with the vision that you have for your life. I think you're working really hard too. There's a lot of labor that goes into making your dreams come true. And I also think you are cutting off the things that don't work, right? You're separating yourself, you're detaching yourself from the things that just simply do not fit in this picture that you have for yourself. So I really love the way I love starting the reading off this way, because it's like that confirmation, is that validation that like, hey, Libra, keep doing what you're doing. Keep focusing on what you're focusing on. Keep building what you're building. The thing with this card though, is it is highly creative. Okay, so we have to be involved in our processes. We have to, be immersed in the creation of these dreams. And it does require a lot from us. Okay? Your hard work is paying off. Exactly. I think the key is hard work. And I don't know why. Maybe this is Mars in Taurus right now. But I feel like hard work is very much the theme. And it probably will be over the next couple of months through Cancer season and Leo season both, and maybe even on into Virgo season. We'll see. But I think for sure Cancer and Leo seasons, there is an element of work, but it's not like the kind of work that drains you and steals your spirit and makes you feel like the world is against you. I think it's the kind of work that you wake up in the morning and you say, okay, I have this sense of purpose. I want to finish this project. I want to write this book. I want to go get that job. I want to build this house. I want to go find this romantic partner. Like, I actually really want to do these things. And you're willing to do what it takes. Hard work, dreams coming true, I think they go hand in hand. I don't know that Libra right now is really relying on luck. Not saying you can't have good luck or you can't have good fortune, but I don't think that you're going to sit around and wait for it. I think there's an element of impatience coming through as well, that Libra kind of says, you know what? I'm not going to wait for the universe. I'm not going to, and I know that in law of attraction, it's all like, and nowadays it's all like, I attract, I don't chase. I mean, you can still attract, okay? You don't have to chase things energetically. You don't have to go after things, in this desperate, grasping way. I don't see any desperation here at all. And I don't see anything like, oh, please give it to me, like begging, I don't see any of that. But I do see you saying, okay, universe, I'm going to show up. I'm going to embody this energy 100%. I'm going to be this person, right? One of my favorite phrases, before you can be what you want to be, you have to be what you want to be, right? You want to be a super fit person. Well, you got to do what fit people do. You got to eat well. You got to go to the gym. You got to stay active. You got to sweat, right? You got to clear your body of toxins. You got to do all these things. You want to be fit. You got to go be fit. You want to be wealthy, you got to do what wealthy people do. You want to be healthy, you got to do what healthy people do. You want to be in love, you got to do the things that people in love do, right? You have to kind of be the embodiment of that energy, and it does require a lot from you. So what else does Libra need to know here? What else is going on for Libra? Really creative, this is what I'm saying. There's a beautiful self-expression coming through, and I've felt it for a very long time. This is Jupiter coming in through Gemini. I don't see restraint from Libra at all. I just kind of see you maybe, like, dare I say it, just kind of getting over your own BS. Because a lot of times our restraint just comes from a narrative that we tell ourselves, right? That's pretty much what it is. I don't see the restraint. I see you getting over yourself, and I see you saying, you know what? I have value in this world. The things that I know, the things that I understand, the skills and talents that I have, I'm ready to share it. I'm ready to do something new with it. I'm ready to apply it in new ways. I'm ready to be creative, and I'm ready to make my dreams come true. Let's go for it. Let's do it. What I love about the Three of Cups is that it is supposed to be a fun process. This is what I mean. It's not desperately grasping and, oh, universe, please, please, please give it to me. It's more of a fun, energized, kind of hyped sort of process that kind of makes you feel like really excited to wake up in the morning. And I'm not saying that everyone is immediately going to feel that just because it's all of a sudden July and all of a sudden we snap our fingers. Oh, July 1st. Okay, everything's different now. I think surrounding yourself with people who are doing similar types of things can play a big role in getting you to this, kind of to the place of waking up in the morning and feeling excited. If you're not already feeling it, if you're not inherently feeling it, surround yourself with people that do. I see the Three of Cups this month as being an emotional support network. And you want to make sure that your emotional support network isn't tearing you down or isn't talking badly behind your back, which means these people have to be successful. They have to be intelligent. They have to be busy, right? Busy people, people who are building their own things, making their own dreams come true. Because people who are busy don't have time to sit around and think about what you're doing, right? And they're certainly not going to talk badly about you. I want you to surround yourself with people with whom you share mutual respect. They respect you, you respect them. And people that you would never say anything badly about them behind their back because you don't have anything bad to say, right? And vice versa. Because these are people that can really, really lift you up, especially if you're kind of towing the line between waking up energized in the morning and kind of I want to be excited, but I'm not really excited yet, So these people can kind of nudge you in that right direction. And I know you have a lot of options, Seven of Cups. And I think there are a lot of different ways you can get to where you're going. And I don't know that any one way is better than the other, or there is one perfect way. I think there are a lot of different possibilities for you. It may feel a little bit overwhelming. Oftentimes I do feel like this is overwhelming. So it's not about choosing the exact right, perfect thing. It's more just pick the thing that you're feeling like, okay, let's just kind of go with that. I think you can use your intuition here and you can trust it. I know Libra sometimes has that tendency. Now, this is very stereotypical, and I'm not trying to perpetuate the stereotypes, but there is that, back and forth consideration of a lot of things, especially when there isn't any one specific path that is really standing out to you. And it just feels like, okay, here's a bunch of stuff. Pick one, that can sometimes throw Libra for a loop a little bit. It can be debilitating because I think Libra is one of those signs that, similar to Virgo, it's like you really want to do it right. And yet at the same time, I think all of these paths have their element of rightness. So if you pick one path, you pick one option, you pick one solution, it's like, just stick with it. Just go with it. I don't think that you're going to need to backtrack. It may not feel right. It will feel right, but it may not feel very comfortable. And that may confuse you into thinking that you didn't choose correctly, but it's fine. Okay. I don't want to see Libra second guessing or getting buyer's remorse where you make a decision and then you regret it later. I don't think you need to be doing any of that. And your emotional support network can really, really help you with kind of picking something and continually going forward with it and not backtracking and not feeling that sense of regret. Okay. I'm seeing a little bit of conflict here. Now, this conflict could be external with other people. It could be internal. The thing that I like about the Five of Wands, though, is it is a little bit of a butting of heads, differing opinions, differing ideas. There's a little bit of struggle there, but I think the struggle is good because it ignites the passion. And sometimes when we're put in a position where we kind of have to fight for what we want or fight for what we believe, it kind of reinforces just how much we care. And I think caring is important. You have to care about your dreams. You have to care about it because it requires work. And, it makes the work easier if you care about it, if you do have that sense of purpose with it. And so having that conflict a little bit, now this probably isn't that big, okay? 5 of Wands is usually more petty type of stuff. But again, if someone comes in and challenges you or says something, and whether you have that conflict with another or it kind of puts you in a head-heart conflict, I think the fact of the matter is it's going to force you, Libra, to continually fight for what you want, to continually fight for this dream. And it's going to kind of lock you in a little bit. It's going to commit you to it. And you're not going to be able to weasel your way out. And I think the universe is like saying, Libra, you have to commit to this new endeavor, to this new chapter, to this new version of yourself, quote unquote, that you're hoping to actualize. And this is kind of like a point where it's like you don't ever have to go back if you don't want. You don't ever have to return back to how life used to be. That's the thing with Pluto right now, transitioning back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius, is it's still kind of a fuzzy line between the new and the old, but we can certainly tell that we are in this transition, and we have since last year, honestly. But it's going to ignite. And I love the Magician in the very center of the reading, because this is where it all begins. The dreams coming true always begins with the Magician. This is that moment that, boom, all of a sudden you feel the inspiration. Now, you don't always necessarily know exactly what the desire is. I think sometimes the Magician can be very abstract. Sometimes we don't always know what's really driving us. We don't really know where this passion is coming from. It's just coming from us. It's coming from a divine source. It's coming from out of nowhere all of a sudden. Like all of a sudden we care so much, and all of a sudden we want it so badly, and all of a sudden we're changing our life and rearranging our life around this dream. And like we don't really have an explanation for it. It's just kind of what's happening. And I feel like that's what's happening to you, Libra. But it's an important turning point to pay attention to, because this is kind of establishing the next phase of your life. And I think there's going to be a lot of success with that 3 of Wands. Now, this does not mean it's happening in July. And I've been saying that for months and months now, so I know that message is probably getting really annoying at this point. But I think true actualization of things, if we're kind of following the sun, it's going to really start happening, in the autumn, Capricorn season. That's when we can really put our hands on things and say, okay, we manifested this. This is real. Right now in Cancer season, we're really getting that creative process going, and everything that happens between Cancer and Capricorn is just getting closer and closer and closer to the results that we want. We will start seeing the results over the next upcoming months. But right now, I think you were still in that you need to be patient kind of phase, because maybe there is some kind of new thing that hasn't really had time to ripen quite yet. It hasn't, the fruit hasn't been born yet, if you will. But you know that it's coming. And I think in your heart of hearts, you know that prosperity, that abundance, that wealth, that good thing that you're working for is coming. And I think you can rest peacefully in your heart knowing that, you don't have to be afraid that it's not going to produce, or afraid that you're not going to get what you want, because I think you will, because you're working so hard to make it happen. And again, this is not a time, I don't think, I really am not sensing that this is one of those times where we have to sit back and let the universe do the work. I think this is our part of the conversation in that delicate dance between the universe and the human being, right? There's always this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there are certain times where we need to take our hands off the wheel and say, okay, universe, it's you. You go. I made a move, you go. this is not one of those times. Now the universe is taking its hands off the wheel and saying, okay, Libra, now it's your turn. Okay, so you have to make some moves here. You have to actually start getting those wheels spinning. If you haven't already, and I suspect you actually already have. You already have. It's just a matter of like continuing and consistency and perseverance. And it may feel, you know, when you're in the middle of a big project and like, yeah, you're in the middle of it and it's a lot and you've done a lot. Yeah, but you're not still quite close enough to the finish line to the point where you feel that sense of relief yet. I think you're in that weird middle ground of this big project. You don't feel that sense of relief that it's almost over because you're not really seeing those results quite yet. And yet you know that if you just keep going, that eventually and sooner rather than later, you actually will cross that finish line. Like you have to just keep going. This is a marathon. Okay, it's not a sprint. It's definitely a marathon. And the Libras that continue and don't lose focus and don't flip-flop. See, this is the tendency here to choose something and then retract. And then choose the next thing and then, oh, I don't know, and then retract and go back and forth, back and forth. And then if we get challenged, especially from an external source, if we get challenged, we may start questioning everything. The point of this Five of Wands is not to make you question yourself. The point of this Five of Wands, the point of this conflict is to help you commit. Okay, it's to help you commit. It's to help reinforce the promises that you are making to yourself. Ace of Swords. All depends on how you perceive it. You might as well perceive it in a way that's helpful. Now, I'm not saying that that Cancer season is going to be a total breeze because it's not. It's Cancer season. I think generally speaking, Cancer season is a tougher season because there is so much emotion that comes through. It's cardinal water. Okay, this is like tidal wave kind of energy. And it's a lot, especially for an air sign, unless you have Cancer in your chart. Well, you've got Cancer on your midheaven, so I actually kind of think you're pretty well versed with Cancerian energy. But I also kind of feel like it's more industrious. And I think it has been really since Taurus season. It's been more about application of things and doing things and getting your hands into the work and focusing on the moment to moment to moment rather than focusing on these. I mean, you can have the big dreams, and of course that's what kind of helps you stay in line, but it's not really about focusing on the big dream so much as it is scaling it down into a manageable kind of way. And we look at this Ace of Swords and I see the clarity. Like, again, this is what I mean. I don't think you should be doubting yourself in any way. So even if you have all these options, just pick one. Just pick a place to start. Pick a place to go. It does not have to be perfect. And if you want to exhibit a little bit of caution, fine, but I wouldn't let it be so cautious that you remain stagnant. Okay, we don't want stagnation right now. We want movement, especially with Jupiter and Gemini. Okay, we really do want this evolution to have freedom to breathe. Okay, and if we get scared or we get debilitated, then we suppress that urge for freedom and we start to kind of go stale ourselves. And that's not really what we want. So we want to make sure that we're perceiving things properly and perceiving this Five of Wands as an opportunity for us to really reinforce what we want. Now, I look at this Four of Wands too, and I see the foundational quality of it. And I see, this was similar for the I think Virgo or Leo reading, I can't remember, one of the two. But I look at this Four of Wands and I see these four pillars. And I would say this is a really good time to take a look at the four main, most important areas of your life that you need to focus on, right? So maybe that's finances, maybe it's your relationship life, maybe it's your career, and maybe it's, your creativity. And you can define those four however you want. But those four main areas, and I'm using four because it's the Four of Wands, and I kind of see you using those four as the foundational pillars upon which everything else will be built. And I think this does align with your dream. So like when you think about your dream, again, that's very generic, but your dream, what is it that needs to be established today so that that dream can not only be actualized, but that it can be actualized fully and in a strong way, Like, for example, if one of your pillars is to have a romantic relationship or a marriage, but you're completely single and have no one, well, maybe this is time for you to start socializing. Maybe you get on an app. Maybe you go out into the world a little bit more in different and unique ways than what you normally do. Maybe you let your friends set you up on that blind date just in case, you know what I'm saying? And I know that's kind of just a silly example, but when it comes to the money, well, do you have your retirement account? Do you have your investment account? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have your trust set up? Do you have the money flowing properly? How is your money system set up? Are you budgeting even? You want to make sure that all those pillars are strong. And I think this month you can focus on all four of them, and you won't drain yourself of energy because, again, you care. You care. Okay? But it's still one step at a time. That's all life is anyway. That's all it can ever be. It's only ever one step at a time. But I think it's how we handle the one step at a time. And what I like about the Page of Wands is he has that sense of adventure. I don't see a burden, and I don't see you feeling oppressed by this process. I see you feeling exhilarated, like I say, waking up in the morning and feeling excited. What do I get to do today? And it feels like a privilege. It feels like an opportunity. I get to go do this. I get to go create that. I get to talk to this person. I get to go to the gym, right? I get to go do all these wonderful things. I get to go outside. And it's like this, like, wow, I can't believe that this is my life. There's just some really beautiful transitions perspective-wise, and that's going to translate into the work. It's going to translate into the dream, and it's going to just build the most incredible dream life. Okay, so there's a lot of really, really positive stuff going on. But let's go ahead and clarify all of this and see what else comes through, because I'm not really seeing any negative forces here, but we'll see what comes out. So for those of you who are new, we're about to pull out a whole bunch of new cards, and we're going to talk about these cards in the comprehensive reading for another 25 to 30 minutes approximately. And the link for that can be found in the description box and the pinned comment down below. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. So let's start clarifying the sun. What is it that Libra needs to know about this sun card here? Five of Cups. Okay, that seems to be a theme as well. The Five of Cups. Seven of Cups. A lot of cups. Nothing wrong with that. I think you're being led by your heart right now, which is normal for Cancer season. Six of Coins. Queen of Swords, which is a Libra card, which I love. Knight of Cups. Oh, hold on. 1 second. Okay, and Four of Swords here. I think this one, the Hermit, and Temperance. Now for the Five of Wands, even more committed, even more of a reinforcement than I realized with that Hierophant card, and Three of Swords. Okay. All right, we've got, I see a little bit of a fight in Libra this month. I am not going to lie. I mean, I do. I see it. I see the passion coming through, like Two of Coins, another Three of Cups. So important, that emotional support network, more important now than ever. We have Death, the Chariot, A lot of major arcana, 3 major arcana to clarify that Ace of Swords, the power of the mind. 10 of Wands, hard work is paying off. Queen of Cups. 8 of Cups. Hold on. I felt like I had one turning. 5 of Swords. 10 of Cups. Love that. And Strength. Okay. This is where we're going to pick up, Libra. So if you want to join me, you are more than welcome. Thank you all so much for everything. Have an amazing July, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.